Welcome to activity 1.2.6 Charmed. As you can see, we're going to actually make this what we call a book bag tag or charm. So let's get started here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm in my folder. So I'm going to make a new folder and I want to call it 1.2.6. I'm going to open up that folder and I'm going to close down this tag right I have here. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do after we make our new folder is we need to get into metric. This project is going to be in metric. To do that, I'm going to go over here on document settings. I'm going to click that little down arrow. I'm going to come down here where it says units. I'm going to slide all the way over to the side here. And what's going to do is it's going to open up this little window. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to change that to millimeters. I'm going to set this as the default for now, and we'll hit OK. So now I'm in millimeters. I want to have as much room as I need to work on, so I'm going to close my waffle down. And now let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to come up here where it says create. I'm going to say create a new component. And as my window opens up, I'm going to give that component a name, and I want to be very specific. I'm going to call it 1.2.6, and now I'm going to put my last name in there. And then we're going to hit OK. Next, I want to go up and I want to grab a new sketch. So I'm going to grab a new sketch and I'm going to grab my XY plane. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab my 2-point rectangle. I'm going to start right here at the origin and open up my rectangle. The first one is I need to make its height 5 millimeters. I'm going to hit the tab key. I'm going to make the width 72 millimeters. That's looking good. I'm going to come up and finish my sketch. I'm going to go to extrude. And I don't care which way this actually goes to begin with for this one. So I'm going to extrude that one 24 millimeters. But what I want to do is I want to kind of take the edge off some of these corners here. So I'm going to come up under modify and I'm going to go to chamfer. And I'm going to grab these little edges right here. So I'm going to grab that one. And then this one, I can come over and I can kind of hover over it and I can see it up here. So I'm going to click on that. Now my chamfer is going to be 7 millimeters. So we're going to come in here and we're going to type in 7. And it's going to make both chamfers 7. So we're going to hit OK. The next thing I want to do is I want to give this a little relief. I want to cut into this a little bit. So I'm going to make a new sketch right on top of that face. And we'll slide in the middle. I'm going to come up to this offset tab. It's under the modify. So if you need to, it's under modify, offset. I'm going to click on that outside edge and I'm going to grab this arrow. I'm going to bring this in. And I want to bring this in minus 2 millimeters. Okay, so we're looking pretty good right there. We're going to finish that sketch. I'm going to go into my home view. I'm going to go to extrude. I'm going to click on this interior piece and I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to cut that down minus 3 millimeters. Okay, minus 3 millimeters. Next, I need to put a hole for my chain here. So I'm going to make a new sketch down on the inside bottom of this. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm going to do. Now, listen carefully. I am not going to click right away. I'm going to go up and grab a circle. I'm going to come right over this line. I'm going to move up and down this line, and all of a sudden you're going to see a little triangle up here. That means I'm at the midpoint. I'm not clicking. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my cursor over here. And as I bring it over, you're going to see a little dotted line up here. You might not be able to see it in the video, but you'll see it when you're working with Fusion. I'm going to come over any kind of distance. I'm going to click. I'm going to open my circle. Now, that circle I want to be 5 millimeters. So I'm going to type in 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to my dimension tool. And I'm going to click on the center of my circle and this inside edge right here. And I'm going to make that 7 millimeters. I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to go into isometric view. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to click on just that circle and I'm going to just drag it down and cut all the way through like that. Next, I want to get my text in here. So I'm going to do a new sketch again on that bottom face right there. And we'll move so you can see everything. I'm going to go to create and I'm going to go to text. So I'm going to make a text box. I'm going to not go all the way out to all the edges. I'm going to kind of put it in like this. Click. And I'm going to type in Pittsford, our school. right? So I can type that in. I can make that bold. I want to center it in both ways. So I'm going to hit center on both those. And once I have that in there, I'm going to hit OK. And now you can see that it's in there. I'm going to finish that sketch. Go into isometric view so you can see what's going on. I'm going to zoom in a little closer. So next I'm going to go to my Create tab. I'm going to slide down to where it says Emboss. I'm going to select my text, and you can kind of see that it turns blue, and I can come over and look at this window and it says, yes, one item was selected. Next, I need to pick the face. So I'm going to hit Select there. I'm going to pick the face in which my text is on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little arrow. I'm going to bring that up. And how far am I going to bring that up? I'm going to bring it up 3 millimeters. Okay, so now it's sticking up. Last thing I need to add is a little bit of color to this. So up here under Modify, I'm going to hit Modify. I'm going to come down here where it says Appearance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide down here and I'm going to grab Paint. So I'm going to click on the word Paint. And then I'll click on the word Glossy. And actually, I'm going to make all this yellow. So I'm just going to left click on the yellow, drag it over here. I'm holding it down, and then I'm going to release it on top here. So everything becomes yellow. Next, I want to really make that Pittsford word stick out. So I can go back here on the paint. I can grab my blue. I can left click, hold it down, and I'm going to come over here. Now, if I do this right away, everything's going to turn blue. So I don't want to do that right away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to click on this bottom face right here. It's going to highlight it. Now I'm going to grab my blue and drop it on top. If I didn't, if I just grab my blue on top, I'll back up and I'll show you what's going to happen. If I just drag that blue on top, got my little color wheel. There's my blue up here. If I just drag my blue on top, everything's going to turn blue, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to back up a second. I'm going to go to my color. I'm going to highlight this bottom by clicking on it. You can see kind of highlights. Then I'll grab my blue, drag it on, and drop it. All right. Once we got that done, we're going to hit close. We're going to go up and we're going to hit save. I'm going to give it a name. Now, my name again is going to be 1.2.6. And then I'm going to put my last name in there so I know whose it is. We're going to hit save. Now, we're going to send these out to be printed, 3D printed. So we have to export them out as different ways that we've done before. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to this little tab, our file tab. We're going to come down to export. And we're going to give it a name. And I'm just going to backslash that V1 out. That means version 1. I don't want to save it as an F3D file. I need to come down here and I need to save it as an STL file. I'm going to find the location where I'm going to set it. And for me, I'm just going to put it on my desktop. And then I'm going to hit save. We'll hit export. And after you're exporting, you can upload it to your assignments. Hope you enjoyed this video.